Welcome back. We're wrapping up our discussion of the results of the recent provincial Saskatchewan election. And joining me is the great Saskatchewanian himself, the Honorable Gerry Ritz. Gerry, again, it's always a pleasure to have you on. The economy certainly featured prominently in this election. It has in every provincial
Yes.
election. Cost of living is up, inflation is up, things are becoming more unaffordable.
The
How
dollar is down.
the dollar's down. So how does that parlay for the average Saskatchewan voter?
Well, Saskatchewan is a resource-rich trading province, and we're being hammered on the resource side, especially in oil and gas, by these clowns. We're being hammered on the agricultural side by these guys, not recognizing the carbon sequestration that the type of agriculture we do here does, along with the cattle grazing and so on. We're not getting any credit for that. We're just being hammered by them with these increases in the carbon tax. And of course, as a trading province, that goes onto the price, and we're trying to deal with other countries that don't have this type of thing. At this point, the only thing saving us is a low dollar, but President-elect Trump is now looking at that, saying he's going to put on taxes to offset some of that, and that's his right to do that. At the end of the day, we are heavily reliant on trade. We've got fights brewing with the US, our major trading partner. We've got fights with India and China by these clowns in Ottawa, Trudeau and crew, and that just hammers the crap out of us in our own economy.
Now, with Trump, you brought up US President-elect Donald Trump, with him taking the helm in January and things staying as the way they are in Ottawa, at least till the next federal election. Is this setting up for a collision course, or is your province going to be, caught in the crossfire?
Well, my recommendation to both Alberta and Saskatchewan is get on your horse, get to Washington, sit down with Trump's transition team, and start talking about dealing direct. Finish off Keystone XL, which Trump has mused about building and getting it finished. We need that. We're landlocked. None of the pipelines really are there for our use when they're owned by the federal government. At the end of the day, if they could make a deal with Trump and start pumping, we supply 50% to the U.S. already. We're a democracy. Iraq and Venezuela aren't. Biden signed deals with them, so in the end, they could be supplanting those supplies with supplies from Saskatchewan and Alberta simply through Keystone XL. That needs to
Right.
happen. At the end of the day, then we could say to Mr. Guilbeault, we'll climb a tower or something. You're done here.
Okay, well, speaking of Mr. Guilbeault, he just recently announced a new oil and gas cap, or a
Yes.
reiteration of a previously announced one. How is this going to be handled and received by this new government in Saskatchewan?
Well, it's going to kill investment. That's the bottom line. I mean, the vast majority of our oil and gas system are owned by American entities, with some other subsets and so on, but the vast majority are headquartered there. They used to be in Calgary. Some of them have moved back into the States. But at the end of the day, it's all about investment. It's tapping into what we have. We're very fortunate in my area here. We've got big players. Strathcona and Cenovus is the large one. Cenovus, of course, bought out Husky with the upgrader in Lloydminster. They're piped right into that from the SAGD or steam-operated entities, not the old style pumping wells that we saw. There's still a few of them that are producing, but at the end of the day, SAGDs is where the money is. So if they start putting these artificial caps on, it's a pull on this investment. And we'll see Cenovus, instead of doing that third SAGD, will just pull roots and go somewhere else.
So, in the last minute we have in this show, what would you like to see the government implement in its first 100 days in office?
Wow, I don't think 100 days is long enough. I mean, it's going to take time for everybody to get up to speed. As I said, it's a brand new cabinet. At the end of the day, they don't sit much during the winter, or they probably won't. They'll bring a budget in. I think that budget has to start to look at balance. They haven't done that in 17 years. That's one of the disappointments as a conservative, fiscal conservative, is we haven't seen that balanced budget. And I think they need to take a real hard shot at that. At the end of the day, there's a tremendous amount of money to be spent in healthcare and in policing and so on that they're not going to get any help at all from Ottawa. So they're going to have to find new streams of income. I know they've told us to start taxing our farmers and our cottage owners more. It's not our fault. They've learned that from Trudeau to download onto the next level of government. And we're doing everything we can to hang on. We've got 800 kilometers of road to serve, different things like that. So at the end of the day, they're going to have to get serious about how they spend their money, what they spend their money on.
Okay, Gerry, it's been a pleasure as usual to have you on, and we'll keep an eye on what goes on in Saskatchewan going forward.
Yeah, the next 100 days, call me back. We'll see how they did.
There we go. Thanks, Gerry. Appreciate it.